name's Craig Scott. I'm director of the Gadsden Public Library, which also includes branch offices in Alabama City and also in East Gadsden. I'm here with two staff members from the East Gadsden branch, LaShunda Williams and Tim Madden. My role here at the library is library director, but over in East Gadsden, these two, they run everything for us. They tell me what to do. So, we're going to flip this around today, and I get a chance to ask them about some good programs that they've got going and have had going over the last 3 years in East Gadsden. And but before we get into the details of that, I wanted to ask LaShunda, tell our audience about your career. Where you when you started with the library and all that.
Okay, when I started, 1996 in October, so that's a long time ago. I started as a part-time employee, and maybe about a year and a half, I became a full-time employee. But this was an accidental thing. I started out in retail, and I guess my retail skills kind of meshed with working in the library. That's what they wanted, somebody with some retail skills and sets. So I came here every day before I became a full-time employee. I checked out, you could check out a lot of books at that time. I would check out 10 to 15 books at a time. And the staff knew me from doing that, and they thought I might be a good fit, and I guess I might still be a good fit. So, and now I am the branch manager of the East Gadsden Library. So it has been a journey, and it has been one of, it's been joy. So I like it.
Very good. Thank you, LaShunda. And Pastor.
Yes, sir.
Pastor Madden is pastor of Damascus Baptist Church, but also has been with the city for a good many years. Tim, tell everybody about your career.
Okay. I was a firefighter for 11 years, from 1985 to 1996. Accepted the call to preach, so I couldn't work that 24 on, 48 off. So in August the 5th, I have 38 years with the city.
And a good share of those with the library.
27, I'll be 27.
27 years in a variety of positions, and
Right.
and now with LaShunda managing and handling our East Gadsden branch.
Mm-hmm.
One very creative program that I want everybody in the community to know about. LaShunda approached me 3 years ago now and said, Craig, there's a good program through the American Library Association, kind of in partnership with the federal government, and it deals with the Affordable Care Act that was passed, and libraries across the country have gotten involved, whereby staff members can be trained on how to best recommend health care coverage for individuals who either don't have coverage or maybe spending a little bit too much on coverage. So LaShunda and Tim, I compliment them for coming forth with this idea. We explored that. The library had to first be approved and become a certified location. That was accomplished 3 years ago. And then LaShunda went through the training and was our first certified application counselor, or a CAC, as she is known, besides library lady in East Gadsden.
Right.
So a CAC, and that gives her the certification, the ability to help with health insurance coverage for those that may need that type of coverage or don't have any coverage at all. LaShunda, why don't you explain that program, how you maybe found that and got involved, and how many people have you helped?
Now, that's going back too far to remember how I found out, but it was in an article, I think on the ALA. But Craig, he's open to, if you come up with a program or think about something, he's very open about, let's try it and see if it works. So we got approved for being a application site for the CAC, for me to be a CAC, but I also had to get certified. So that is that was rigorous for me to study and take these, I think it was 8 certification tests to get certified. And you have, either you make an 80 or above to pass those tests, or if you don't, you fail it and you have to take it again. I think I did that one time, and I did this. I waited to the last minute. I'm a procrastinator, and being honest, I waited to the last day on the 31st of October. I finished all my tests at 11:59, and I like to do things 1 minute before time. And I passed, of course, and I got certified. And I like helping people and those on the lower socioeconomic where we are, because I have been without insurance, so I know what it's like. So signing people up that don't have insurance, you would be amazed of people that live in our city or in the United States that do not have insurance, and people think that it is a privilege when I think it is a right. So, but there's a catch to that. You get tax credits for the Affordable Care Act, and you must file taxes. You must have income. It's not where you can come in, it's like, oh, I haven't worked and I need some insurance. Well, no, you need to work. You have to make a certain amount of income per year. And for Alabama, it's about, for our state, it's like $19,000. You need to make at least $19,800, we'll say $80 per year to get either pay zero for your insurance or a little higher. So I have been blessed to help over, we'll say right now, because I signed somebody up yesterday, well, 2 people, and the 15th was the last day. It was about, I think, like 300, I'll say 323 for the past 3 years. So to me, that's a lot of people that we have helped. I've had some people come back every year, they think it's a blessing, they think I know everything, but I don't. But it's just, I just like being able to help those who have not been able to have insurance. So there's a lot of people that are like, I haven't had insurance in over 10 years. Or I helped a lady, her husband died, and he took care of everything for her. And she didn't know what to do. And I was very thankful to be able to help her get insurance for herself, because she is 61, 62, too young for Medicare. And she was able to do that on her own. And I'm thankful to be able to say that I was a part of helping her make her first step of handling her business in her widowhood.
That's very good. Really, really, really good stuff. And I want to mention a couple of things that LaShunda was talking about. First, on the 323 folks, there's also families involved in that. So it's just not 323 individuals, but there are others affected by this as well. As LaShunda pointed out, there's an income is needed, but many folks are out there with that kind of income, but with no insurance at all, and this gives them the ability and the right to come and visit you and find out what's available. Another thing I want to mention is that LaShunda and Tim, they work for the library. They work for the city of Gadsden. They don't work for an insurance company.
Right.
So this is very objective. There's no high sales pressure whatsoever, and they can recommend the good programs that are out there. And if you have an interest, if you have a need, I'd encourage you to contact either LaShunda or Tim in the East Gadsden branch. And so, Tim, let's talk about your interest in getting involved in this. So, LaShunda, the 3 years that you've been involved as a CAC dates back to 2020. That's
Right.
when you and I first talked. But second year in 2021, Tim, to your credit, you gave me a call and said, Craig, I'm right here on scene. I see what LaShunda is doing. She can't do it all. I'd like to help. And so Tim then said, right on, let's go for it. Tim then went through the training, which is a tough training to go through. But Tim also became certified. He is now an official CAC, Certified Application Counselor. and he can counsel just as LaShunda can. And why don't you tell us about your experience in helping some folks out there?
Well, getting involved in it is kind of a natural thing for me as a pastor. Jesus Christ gave us a mandate to help those in need. So it's been quite fulfilling to help, as you say, individuals and families. Most of them, as LaShunda said, don't have to pay a monthly premium for their insurance. So it's been a great blessing to be a part of that.
Yeah, I've heard some of the stories of where you guys have called me excited or even with some tears in your eyes about certain situations that people have been in, and you guys have helped them really turn a corner. And so it's been very touching for me to hear some of those stories. And but I would encourage everybody out there, if you're in this kind of situation, if you're interested in this type of program, please call LaShunda or Tim, East Gadsden Branch of the Gadsden Public Library. It's over just at the corner of Hoke Street and East Broad Street. If you know that East Broad Street area right there, it's very thin. There's no parking in front, but we are right next to the Family Success Center. Drive around back. That's where our front door is. That's the parking lot. And you'll see the entrance to the library. You can go in and talk to them or call them. And the number for the East Gadsden Library is 256-549-4691. Or you can email them and they will reply. LaShunda, your email address is LaShunda, LaShunda at gadsdenlibrary.org. And Tim is very simple. It's Tim at gadsdenlibrary.org. Any other comments? Things you can think of?
Right now, since I was talking about helping a lady in her widowhood, I'm working on a program right now to help widows and widowers that are experiencing widowhood that have paid a bill in their life, don't know how to do anything because their spouse have taken care of all their responsibilities for them. Now that spouse has passed on. So I'm looking at programming for widowhood programs in the near future. So I'm working on that right now. And also I graduated from the my outfielders thing Friday.
Oh, very, very good. So we're going to take time and talk about that. This is another special program that LaShunda brought to me, and I was all in favor of it. And to her credit, she applied, if I remember correctly, out of 188 applications that were submitted, only 30 were accepted, and LaShunda was accepted into the program. It's a program through the Association of Rural and Small Libraries, which the East Gadsden Library is a small library. She applied to that and became what was called an outfielder. That means outstanding in her field. And through that, all expenses were paid for an excellent training for the past 2 years. And she was able to get out to go to Reno, Nevada, to meet the cohort out there, meet the folks that were involved in this, her 30 other compadres, and met them in Reno, and had good training out there. And then also went to Salt Lake City. That's right, Salt Lake City. So 2 good trips, and then had to give a presentation most recently last September, if I remember right, last September in Chattanooga for the association's annual convention, and so gave her presentation on a individual project that she had to do, which we are implementing here at the library. It'll be a story walk project in our park across the street, and I have an update for you because I just learned some more yesterday. So after this, we'll talk about that. But so out of this, LaShunda, I guess I've said everything about it pretty much.
Fine.
But LaShunda is outstanding in her field, one of the best, and wanted to recognize her for the excellence in first coming forward with that program, applying for it, being accepted, and now graduating. You have graduated. Tim, any comments?
No, I just like to say libraries, as we know, the paradigm for libraries are changing. It's much more than just a repository for books. LaShunda's done a good job of outreaching to people. We have a box out there. She puts sandwiches out there, puts food out there, and you know, we come into almost a daily contact with people who are homeless and underserved. So that's a credit to the city and to our library system, because libraries, as I said, much more than just a place to check out books and materials. We outreach to the community and do whatever we can to help them when possible.
Very good. I appreciate you guys coming in and enjoyed our conversation here. You're right, Tim. Libraries are so much more. We have a lot of books, a lot of movies on the shelf that people are more than welcome and do check out, but we have a lot more, and here's some really good programs that we want the community to take advantage of. Thank you.